Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to be showing you another way to sublimate on 100% cotton. Now this is an alternative method to the spray that I've shown you previously. This is utilizing this Thermoflex Frosty Clear Matte vinyl from Heat Transfer Warehouse. As you know, with sublimation, typically you need 65% or more polyester in your garment in order for sublimation ink to transfer. This is going to be 100% cotton. This is an alternative way to do it. So I saw this on TikTok. We're going to give it a try and see how it works. Now, this is, again, a Frosty Thermoflex Clear from Heat Transfer Warehouse. I used my Cricut to cut out my background image, and I put the Cricut on cardstock. I wanted to cut this out completely. I didn't want to have to weed it and have the big piece on. I just wanted this piece. Now, if you want to kiss cut it, you can adjust your settings. This is thicker than a typical vinyl, so you might have to play with your settings. But in order to get a full cutout, which is what I was after, I used the medium cardstock setting, and that seemed to work really well. We're going to be sublimating this Gildan, see if I can find where it says 100% cotton shirt. This is, yes, it's right here. I don't know if you can read that or not, but it is a Gildan 100% cotton shirt. So the first thing I've done is preheat my heat press to 305 degrees. I'm going to use that to transfer the image. So I'm going to lay this down, and actually I'm going to fold it in half first and kind of get my center point. And I'm using my smaller heat press just because it's easier on camera to see. And this easily fits on an 8.5 by 11 sheet, so the smaller press works just fine. Now I am using the SG500. This is a sublimation printer with sublimation ink. You have to use sublimation ink for this to work. All right, so we've got a nice crease down the center. I can tell where I'm at. I'm going to put this on. And again, I've got that set at 305, and I want to make sure that my image is going the correct way. When you cut the premium matte Frosty Clear Thermoflex Plus, you want to put, there's a shiny side, a smooth shiny side, and the other side's a little more tacky, kind of sticky and muted. You want to put the smooth, shiny side up. This tacky side is the actual product, so you want to put that side down on your mat. All right, so we're going to put this down, and I'm going to just kind of really lightly mark the center for myself. Line that up with my center line on my shirt. All right, and I'm going to use just a little bit of heat transfer tape to keep this in place. All right, I'm going to put a piece of butcher paper over the top. We're going to give it a press. I'm only going to press this for a few seconds. I've got it set on 15 seconds. That's probably good enough. So we're going to let this count down 15 seconds, but then we're going to have to turn that temperature up to transfer the sublimation ink. So we've got that done. I'll remove this, and I'm going to remove the transfer paper. So you want to let this cool down before you try to peel the Thermoflex. This is a cold peel, and you don't want to try to peel it too early or you'll pull that adhesive up. So let this cool down. And now I'm going to peel that transfer paper up. So I've peeled the transfer paper up, and I don't know that you can see it on camera, but the Thermoflex is now on the shirt. So I'm going to turn the temperature up on the heat press to 380 degrees, and I'm going to set the timer for 40 seconds. Now while that's coming up to speed, I am going to go over into some really good light, and I'm going to line up my image that I printed on the SG500 right on top of that clear vinyl that I put on top of the shirt. So let me get that lined up and I'll be right back. So I've lined my image up as well as I could. I had to go over by a window. It's really hard to see white on white, so I maybe should have done a different colored shirt. It would have been a little bit easier. But I lined things up and I taped my image down, face down on top of that vinyl that I put on there previously. Now the heat press is already preheated to 380 degrees. So I'm going to place this on the heat press, and you can see I've put a piece of paper on the platen just to make sure that no ink bleeds through. And I'm also going to take another piece of butcher paper just for good measure. It's always good to protect the back side of the shirt. So I'm going to slip this inside just to make sure we don't get any bleed through on the back of the shirt. All right, so we've got everything lined up, and again, we need to put our paper over the top. Now I'm really nervous to see if this is going to work. So I've got 380 degrees for 40 seconds. Now you don't want really heavy pressure because what can happen is that paper can get stuck. So let's see how this does. 380 degrees, 40 seconds. So I would say medium to light, more on the light side of pressure. So we'll let this count down and let's see if our image transferred to 100% cotton shirt using the Thermoflex Plus. While we're waiting on that, I also wanted to mention the Caesar White. This is like a glitter. This would also work, as well as I think this one would work too. This is Caesar Holographic Mystic Pearl. See that? And there's also another color here. These would work as well. They have a substance in them that takes the, I think it's polyurethane, that takes the sublimation ink. So let's see what happened. So let's remove that, and I want you to see that I'm doing this live. It works! Hello! Look, we just sublimated 100% cotton shirt. Yay us! That was so fun. Really, really pretty easy. So let's just recap really quick. So what we did, we cut the Thermoflex Matte Frosty from Heat Transfer Warehouse. We cut that on the Cricut using the matte cardstock. I put it so the shiny side of the Thermoflex Plus was up, and then I used the cardstock settings so that it cut the entire thing out. So you don't have to mirror this because it's going to go straight down on your shirt. So then we applied that to the shirt using 305 for about 15 seconds. You're going to let that cool down, do a peel it back, and you're going to take your sublimation print, which was mirrored, and this has to be done with sublimation ink. Take your sublimation print, put it face down, tape it so that it's nice and lined up. You're probably going to have to go near a window or something to be able to line that up. But once you get that all lined up, you are going to raise the temperature on your heat press. I did 380, 40 seconds, light to medium pressure, and you're good to go. I'll have all of the products used in this video linked in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to click that bell so that you're notified every time there's a new video. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, never stop making. See ya. Bye-bye.